What do you know? I'm like super pleased with the way these projects came out. Hey y'all, APG Jamie here. And today, well, recently anyway, I purchased some 10-cent hardback books at our local library. Yes, I know how to pronounce library. Anywho, Haley. Anywho, I thought they were a perfect size because my friend Via Vaughn sent me a package. It had some stamps and it also had that vinyl, that fabric vinyl stuff. And I thought, oh, those are like, I think, because I didn't know for sure, the perfect size to use for some of those vinyl pieces. Y'all, serendipitous all over the town. Because, yeah, perfect size. So I don't know what books these were. It really didn't much matter to me. And I had just a general plan to use the vinyl fabric and the book covers. Okay, I mean, they were 10 cents a piece. I gave them a whole dollar for what, 4 books? I'm like, here. She says, we don't have change. And I'm like, well, just keep it all. Take it all. Okay, so I don't know why I explained all that, because sometimes I explain stuff. So anyway, we're going to take the covers. Well, we've already taken the cover of that one off. I'm just kind of showing you how I did it. There's a second one. I will show you how I did that one. Slightly same thing, slightly different, okay? There are a lot of videos on the YouTubes. This is really not a how-to video, but basically a how I video. Yeah. So I do have a couple tips for you, or a few tips. I don't know. I didn't count them. Somebody else can count them. Somebody else is responsible for the math. Oh my gosh, y'all. You will see my mind be blown more than one time with the ruler in here. So I've taken the text block out of it, out of the cover. It's a hardback cover with the fabric cover, printed fabric cover, and the inside fly pages were reinforced and had this whole label about tear proof and all this stuff. They were pretty well bound together. I mean, really well. So a lot of times the libraries excuse me, put a label on the outside there on the spine for when they put the books up on the shelves. Think Dewey Decimal System, but I don't think they do that anymore. Anyway, I know you can't get them cards. Anyway, I took the packing tape off and the paper that was under it with whatever their information was, and now I'm using Citrusol to take the sticky off the book. Now I have seen a bunch of altered book videos, and I can't necessarily recall seeing anyone remove sticky. All right, there are other ways to do it. This just happens to be the product I have to remove the sticky. It's a natural product, and if you can get it, I do recommend it. It is Citrusol. Anyway, it doesn't take much, and I'm just using a paper towel, getting the sticky off, and now I am actually washing the outside of this book cover, which I probably should have done to begin with, because germs and all that junk. It's a kid book even. So I've just got a sponge dishcloth thingy with a little bit of dish soap on there, because that cuts oils and greases and dirt and grime and all that kind of stuff. And I'm just wiping all around it, as you can see. And what you don't see is when I get a clean water one and rinse it off. You can actually use baby wipes too. I am even wiping around on the inside. Now at this point I still wasn't sure how I was going to be using the vinyl and the covers. Okay, So I notice there's a lot of black magic marker in there. Sharpie probably. And it's alcohol based. So I got a cotton swab, aka Q-tip, and some 91% isopropyl. And we're just going to take that away. If I'd known I was going to end up doing these covers so differently, I wouldn't have bothered, because I basically cover it all up anyway. Basically, not totally. But just in case you need to know how to take some of that ink off. Sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. I just kind of got lucky on this one. What were the books about? I don't know. They were like teenager kind of books, I think. It's kind of what they look like to me. I don't know. I kept the text blocks. I don't know what I'll do with them. I don't know. Anyway, I'm making a couple of repairs. What I thought was repairs. I'm just kind of closing that up. And this is the only one I did that to. The rest of them, I cut the spine away, which you will see momentarily sometime today. And yep, be careful, because sometimes old, dry, crusty books can be sharp, as can craft knives. So here's how I'm doing the other one. Again, I'm removing the text block. I'm trying to be careful, because I think I want to keep the spines. And as I said here, I don't know where I put them, if I kept them. It's been a week or so. Life sometimes happens. So I'm using that, and then I'm actually going to cut the whole, this is where I'm cutting the whole spine away. I would recommend, just taking the whole text block out before you remove the spine, just because it's more easier that way. And I'm just looking at it, and I'm like, yeah, it's, not quite straight. So I'm going to make it still not quite straight. Y'all. Straight lines. Straight and narrow. I don't know. Anyway, moving along. There will be times of the video where you get a little flashy going on, especially when I'm using the black gesso. It really gets weird with that. My apologies in advance. I also had more than one corrupt film files. Maybe I shouldn't have waited to edit so long. Anyway, as you know, once you get a project done, if that's the only materials and supplies you had for that particular one, you can't repeat it necessarily. I ended up with 4 of the journals, with one just a vinyl journal. I didn't show you how to, but you'll see pictures of it. And one of them I didn't finish because I didn't have the correct color elastic. Oh, these are Dori, Dori. I think it's just the brand name. So I always say Dori Style journals. That's where you have the elastic cord and your paper folios just slide underneath them. Of course, it would be, easy enough to take out the Dori Style and sew signatures in. Because these journals, only one of them got a signature, and that was the little red one. It's a tall, skinny one. Anyway, I know I'm getting way ahead of myself, because we're not even 10 minutes in. See how flashy it gets? Oh my goodness. And when you're painting, if you finish with your paint, like if you're painting a wall all in the same direction, it leaves a better shadowing effect that we can't necessarily readily see, but we recognize it as a good paint job on walls. Just saying. Yeah, I've been a remodeler. Okay, so I have a front and back, and I have labeled them as front and back. It's way less confusing for me. I'm about to get the ruler out, and numbers and measurements are not really my thing. Generalized measurements are best. And when I try to get fancy with real measurements, yeah, it's a little too much. So you'll see me probably flipping my hands around. Most of the video is sped up. Lost footage. It's just lost, y'all. And some of it is in hyperdrive. So, and these vinyl pieces were not actually necessarily square. I was sure they were all just cut by machine, and they, got cut however they got cut. No big deal. Hi, thanks. I appreciate them, Vaughn. I think they're wonderful. Anyways, so I'm kind of trying to square them up. The covers to these books are not actually square either, which is kind of a common thing, even with machine-made products. Because it's got a fabric cover, and you've got, just the slightest thickness difference, and you round in them corners and all that stuff. And here I am just going to be struggling. All right. And I left a lot of it in because I think I'm being clever. I'm going to put a 1-inch spine on there. And that's pretty much what the spine was. Well, actually, I think it was like 3/4 of an inch that came with it. So if that's the size of the spine you want, then leave the spine on there. If it's in good shape, of course. Talking about altering the book. If it's not big enough, that's why you want to take it off, which is what I did. Because I think they're all basically a 2-inch spine. What you're seeing me do, don't necessarily do it like that. Because I end up drawing lines and then, yeah. You're supposed to talk about the video as it's happening, not as it's going to happen. Okay. Anyway, I am very happy with them. And this one did not get photographed. Oh, did I say that already? I don't have any of the, well, it's on order. It'll be here tomorrow. Although I like this one a whole lot, so I may keep it for myself. Or at least pet it for a while. So black gesso. I decided that white edge was just a little too blinding white. So I thought, well, we will just tippy tap it with a little bit of black gesso. Now these vinyl pieces, they are vinyl on top, and it feels like fabric. It's got the fabric grain to it. And the back side is, I wouldn't necessarily say it was woven, but it's fibrous. That's it. It's fibrous. And these are older pieces from the olden days. I don't know how old, but they're not newish. Not super newish. So they are a little thicker than what we currently get these days at the fabric store for the vinyl pieces. Anyway, I got my corners rounded, and now I needed to re-black those rounded corners. Okay, now again with the ruler, and this is where I thought, well, I'm just going to make a couple straight lines, and I'm going to glue the vinyl in there. Okay? So that's what we're doing. And this is the only journal that is half painted and half vinyl. And that was basically because of the pattern on the vinyl itself. As you can see, that one has a specific pattern. The others are florals, and they looked like it didn't make much of a difference, if any difference, which direction those patterns went in. So we're going to use Yes Paste. I do like it for covers. And, they want you to put it on, in thin, even coats and all that stuff. I prefer using, a hotel key card or an old gift card, that kind of thing. So I'm going to match that up with my pencil line. I'm sure it's perfect. So that's the front. Okay, here's our wooden rolly thing. It's a kitchen brayer, I think. Somebody told me that it was used for pasta typically. Anyway, so that was that. I put the vinyl on the inside of the cover. I did not glue any of the spine. That is an empty airway between the front cover or the outside vinyl and the inside vinyl. Okay. The next one that you'll see, the spine's a little different. Anyway, I'm getting fancy on here. Let's put some diamonds on it. It's probably why I like this one best, because it's got diamonds on it. So I don't show you a whole lot of that. It's just, we use art glitter glue, and we're putting on a dark green diamond and then a pale green diamond. And I do that all the way down on the front and the back cover, adding glue as necessary. Okay, now book corners. I have some book corners. They're metal and they're from the Amazon, so they're pretty nice. Some of them are very wide to accommodate thick covers, and then some of them are more narrow for thinner covers. Okay. And I got lucky. Most of the ones I was going to use were big enough. Now, the other journals have full vinyl on the outside of the cover and on the inside, with the exception of one. So I guess that's two of them. Anyway, I wanted to be fancy because I like the corners, but I thought I didn't want the black showing. I wanted to draw that green over there, so that's why I mixed up a little bit of paint that was close enough in color. And now I'm going to paint through the little holes. Could have just, painted the whole corner, would have been fine once I got figured out where not to paint. So do that for all four corners. And in a minute we will put the corners on. Now this one just has vinyl on the inside cover on the corner edge there. Okay, the two of them will have vinyl in and out, and one of them will have paper on the inside. We'll see that one. I know, it was so aggravating when I found out. Well, not that I can do anything about corrupt film files either. La la la. So we're using pliers to squish it down. Is the glue actually necessary? I don't know. I just always use it because sometimes I have trust issues with adhesion. I guess. So, all the books except the little narrow red one will get book corners. And a couple of the book corners have a design on the inside. So the inside's pretty much just as pretty as the outside, which is not always the case with metal book corners. I guess I'm going to show you pretty much all four of them. Or 2.5. Something like that. Here we go. Okay. So, by the time I got through with that, I decided I wanted to just take the spine off because I wanted a deeper spine. I'm not making these for me, y'all. I'm giving these away. Defy Disabled Artist Foundation will get these, if not already. They'll get them soon, if not already. And they will do whatever they want to do with them. Okay? I had the pleasure of making them, and I certainly don't need another journal, y'all. But sometimes I do just want to make them. It seems to be that kind of summer, doesn't it? Not our first ones this year. This summer, even. So this one we're painting, I don't know, a tan. It's a tan color, y'all. I had originally had paper glued to it and decided I didn't like that at all. So I pulled all the loose paper off, and now we're just painting around the edge because really it's just that one edge that will remain visible. This is the only other one that got painted. The other two did not get painted because the edge, the color of the book there, the existing book cover, was fine. basically what I was trying to say with a whole lot of extra words. And I did work on these off and on for a couple of weeks, and most of the time after they got the yes paste and the vinyl applied, they got dried underneath heavy books overnight or weekend or longer. No, not longer. Yeah, probably no more than a couple nights in a row. Anyway. So, yes paste. This is the one that's getting the paper on the inside. We have the vinyl on the outside. I put paper on the inside because I did not have another piece of vinyl that I thought went well enough with the vinyl on the outside. I kind of tried to make them coordinate. So this one's getting a piece of scrapbook paper, and it is just paper. You know, paperweight, copy paperweight. I don't know what paper pad it's from. It was laying there and it looked good with the vinyl on the outside, and I'm like, yeah, you're the winner. So this book only has the one piece of the vinyl fabric on it. And we will put a piece of coffee. I think it's coffee dyed. I got it sitting right here. Let me see if I can smell it like coffee. Nope. Smells like book. Smells like a book now. I'm pretty sure it's a coffee dyed muslin, or at least definitely cotton fabric. So, anyway. We will get to that any day. That is fun paper though, isn't it? There's nothing wrong with grungy and new. Okay, here's the fabric. It could have been a cotton tea towel. Those are nice from the Walmarts. I don't know if they still have them or even how much they are. You used to could get 10 for, was it $10? I know it wasn't over $10. Not if I bought them. Anyway, they're thin, but it's nice fabric. It's cotton. It's a natural. Pulling out those threads. And I'm going to use some Fabrifix, Fabridac, Vegan 3-in-1. Same thing. All the same thing. I'm like, yeah, that's going to be just perfect, I'm telling you. I think I want something a little more in the spine because that's just a single layer of vinyl, which probably would be fine, but I have this piece of vinyl hanging around. So we're going to use it to just put another little layer on the spine. Just because. Is it necessary? I thought so. If I didn't have the vinyl, would I put something else? I'm not sure. Maybe. Maybe a piece of faux chipboard. Yeah. So we're just going to glue that on there with the Fabri-Tac. That's the outside of that particular journal anyway. Just kind of burnishing it down with the bone folder. Not a real bone. I'll put a bead of the Fabri-Tac, not totally in the corner, you know, where the cover and the fabric join on the outside, and one on the inside where the paper is. So we got a slight step down, and the bone folder goes in and marks that pretty good. And then we're going to do the other side. I think I come back later on and add a couple more dibble dobbles here and there. Yeah, pretty sure. And the little spine area and now on the cover area. And I'd say it was probably considered a thin line of Fabri-Tac. And we're just going to squish that down in there too. Tipple tapple, pull the threads and tipple tapple. I think it looks good. Makes me happy. All right. So this one has 2 layers of vinyl. We have full vinyl on the outside and full vinyl on the inside. The metal corners that I wanted to use didn't quite slip over it, so I'm just kind of widening them up a bit. Again with the glue right there on the corners, just going to slide that on there, trying to hold it taut and then squeezing it with the pliers, really like we did the first one, and that's all you'll see of that. Now we're ready to set our eyelets, because I'm using eyelets to run the elastic cording through, and I've already marked 3 holes on the bottom and 3 holes on the top. And I am using the small eyelets. What is that? The 1/8 inch? I don't know. It's a small one, y'all. Not the average size. So I'm using this little hoe. And the crocodile is all set. And now we're going to get our eyelets. And you really, one of the hardest parts, because all these spines were left unglued. The front and the back are not glued together on the spines, okay? They're held together with these eyelets because I just didn't want them glued. I didn't want to glue them, okay? That's why I did it that way. You will put glue on yours? Go ahead. So anyway, setting the eyelets, and I think I only misset one of them, which is not uncommon for me to misset all of them. Just saying. So, probably got it adjusted correctly. Oh, and speaking of adjusting correctly, if you should happen to need help with figuring out which little knobby thingy to use on your crocodile, your big bite, your chomper, whatever this tool is called, and then the other one that's held by your hand, I will put a link below, and I believe they have a printable and a video. So there we go. Okay. Yep, I either lost one or misset it. I don't know. So we got another one out. And this is how I did all the eyelets on all of them, except the little skinny red one. And now we're going to put their elastic in there. Like I said, I thought I had ordered black. I got white because I wanted both. Anyway, it should be here tomorrow, if I didn't say that already. And if I did, welcome to the repeat zone. And I'm just going to briefly touch the end of that with fire, and that kind of melts the little fibers that wrap around the elastic band so that it quits coming unraveled. So I'm coming in from the outside, going to leave a tail, coming in from the outside right next door. Now we're going to cross town. We're going to uptown. Next door. Next door. Okay. Going downtown. So, and because I use the little tiny eyelets, the elastic doesn't want to go through that well. So if you do something like this, you might consider using the average regular size eyelet, not normal, because ain't nothing normal around here. Okay, so got to get a pokey tool so I can help poke the elastic cord through there. I don't know how long it feels to you, but it feels like forever. Okay, so we got that. Now, see, that particular one has 2 of the cords through it. So now we're going next door. Now we're going uptown. And we're coming next door. We're going to need help to get that through there, because now that eyelet has double cord in it, which is fine. I did not put a closure on any of them except the little red skinny one. And those measurements will be coming up during the photo montage, but not yet. Not yet. You're almost there. And I'm tying it. I guess I could have left it loose, but you know, I just put a knot in it because I'm a knothead like that. Hopefully I didn't over tighten it, and I'm just going to wiggle the cord. So there's actually room for 4 signatures in there. And that's it. It's a cover. And they're all just covers except the little skinny red one. Now I made some journal jewelry. And it's got a lobster claw on the end, and I'm just fastening that to the elastic cord. So that's the little red one. It's narrow, and it has a pocket. It is the only one with a pocket. It is the only one with a closure. It is the only one with the signature. Okay? I'm just saying, because yeah, it's a fun little size though. Okay, so we got this one. See, it's got a little jewelry on there. Defy can do whatever they want to with this stuff. So we've got the little scraps of vinyl that were left. I mean, they are very small, but I'm not going to use them. So the one we did use on the spine, that one will not have a piece of vinyl. It gets the extra paper that we put on the inside of the cover, though. Just saying. See, journal jewelry on that one. The red one didn't get jewelry. This is the one with the paper on the inside and the fabric on the inside. I put the extra paper and I think a little piece of fabric in there too. I don't know. Maybe not. And I think I'm going to keep this one. At least for a while, because like I said, my black cording will be here tomorrow. That's it. Dori Style. Ta-da! Photo montage. Anyway, Defy typically has a monthly auction where they sell, that auction off items, art supplies, stuff like that, for the benefit of the Disabled Artists Foundation, where they put together kits and supplies for those differently abled artists. Okay, so drop on by, link below. You know I appreciate you so much. Thanks for watching, and happy art